If you're between the ages of 65 and 80 and can still do these 8 simple things, you're not just aging gracefully, you are a rare force of nature. Your chances of living to 100 are much higher than you think. Longevity isn't just a roll of the genetic dice or pure luck. It's crafted by small, everyday actions that quietly build an extraordinary future. Meet Samuel, a vibrant 76-year-old from the charming town of Willow Creek, North Carolina. Despite the gray in his hair and the laugh lines around his eyes, Samuel moves with a youthful energy that surprises everyone he meets. He volunteers at the local library, plays catch with the grandkids, and still insists on chopping his own firewood. In this video, we'll uncover 8 powerful signs that you are not just surviving, but thriving, and on the golden path toward a long, independent life. Some of these might seem simple, but each one is a profound signal that your body and mind are working in harmony. Stay with me until the very end. The last sign is one that most people overlook, yet it might be the strongest predictor of your longevity. Let's dive in and see just how exceptional you really are. Over 65 and still active? Type 1 to see if you have this rare sign of living to 100. One of the earliest and clearest signs of remarkable aging isn't something flashy. It's the simple act of standing up from a chair without using your hands. If you can still do this, you are displaying a stunning level of physical health, balance, and muscle strength, far beyond the average for your age group. Let's meet Oliver, a 74-year-old retired teacher living in the peaceful town of Cedar Brook, Oregon. Oliver had always prided himself on being active, but one evening, as he struggled to rise from his favorite armchair without pushing off with his hands, he paused. It was a small, almost invisible struggle, but it caught his attention. At first, he shrugged it off. It's just normal aging, he thought, but a lingering feeling gnawed at him. When he visited his doctor for a routine checkup, he casually mentioned the difficulty. That's when he received a wake-up call. Maintaining lower body strength wasn't just about comfort, it was about survival. Weak leg muscles increase the risk of falls, which are among the leading causes of injury and loss of independence in older adults. Determined not to lose his freedom, Oliver made a decision that changed everything. He began incorporating small but consistent exercises into his daily life. Simple squats, seated leg lifts, and standing heel raises. At first, it wasn't easy. His muscles protested, and he often felt discouraged. But every morning, he pushed through, whispering to himself, "Strong legs, strong life." Weeks turned into months. Gradually, he noticed the difference. Rising from a chair became effortless again. Even better, he found himself moving more confidently around his home, no longer gripping furniture for support or hesitating at curbs during his morning walks. This small turning point, this seemingly minor struggle, sparked a ripple effect. Oliver's newfound strength boosted his overall energy levels, his confidence soared, and his love for life reignited. His grandchildren even noticed, marveling at how he could get down on the floor to play with them and hop back up without missing a beat. Standing up from a chair without using your hands may seem like a tiny detail, but it speaks volumes about your future. It's a sign of resilience, of balance, of core strength, all essential for a life filled with independence and joy. So next time you rise from a seat, pay close attention. Are you springing up with ease, or are you leaning heavily and pushing off? Your answer might just reveal the next 20 years of your life. No one expects their body to send warning signs, but sometimes it does in ways we least anticipate. For Nathan, a lively 70-year-old living in the sun-soaked town of Clearwater, Florida, the surprise came during a simple afternoon walk. Nathan had always been the picture of active aging. He loved strolling along the beach, greeting neighbors, feeling the sea breeze on his face. But one sunny afternoon, halfway down his usual path, he noticed something unusual. His pace had slowed. His breathing, once steady, now felt heavier, labored. He had to pause by a bench, something he had never needed before. Confused and slightly shaken, Nathan brushed it off at first. Maybe it's just the heat, he thought. But deep down, he knew it wasn't just the weather. Over the next few days, the pattern repeated. Simple errands left him catching his breath. Walking upstairs became a conscious effort rather than a mindless task. Nathan's unexpected struggle forced him to confront a difficult truth. Somewhere along the line, his endurance had quietly slipped away. What once came naturally was now an effort. The realization hit him hard. For a man who valued independence and vitality, it felt like losing a part of himself. But instead of surrendering, Nathan took action. He visited his doctor and underwent a simple walking speed test, one that measured how briskly he could move over a short distance. The results weren't catastrophic, but they were a clear signal. It was time to rebuild. Nathan crafted a simple but powerful plan. Every morning he laced up his sneakers and walked around the block. Not leisurely, but with intent, as if trying to catch a departing bus. At first it was tough. His legs burned, his breath grew short. But day by day his body adapted. His pace quickened. His lungs grew stronger. His confidence soared. Within 2 months, Nathan had not only reclaimed his former brisk stride, but had surpassed it. Friends started commenting, "You look stronger, younger even." That simple shift in his walking speed turned out to be a gateway to renewed health and an unexpected rebirth of spirit. Walking at a brisk pace isn't just exercise. It's a declaration that your heart is strong, your muscles are resilient, and your vitality is alive. If you notice your walking slowing or your breath shortening, don't ignore it. Like Nathan, see it not as a defeat, but as a call to rise, move, and thrive once again. Because sometimes the most unexpected moments reveal our greatest opportunities for transformation. Life has a way of teaching us lessons when we least expect it. For Amelia, a spirited 68-year-old living in the picturesque mountain town of Silver Pines, Colorado, that lesson came one chilly autumn morning. Amelia had always considered herself strong and balanced. After all, she had spent her younger years hiking trails, dancing at community festivals, and teaching yoga classes at the local center. Balance, she thought, was something she'd never lose. But one morning, as she hurried to answer the door, Amelia slipped slightly on a small rug. She didn't fall, but she wobbled, just for a second, enough to make her heart race and her hands tremble afterward. That single fleeting moment was all it took to shatter her illusion of invincibility. Later that night, Amelia couldn't stop thinking about it. She realized she hadn't even noticed how much she had started avoiding quick movements, how cautious she'd become when stepping into the shower or navigating icy sidewalks. Her perspective shifted completely. Balance wasn't something you kept automatically. It was something you had to protect and nurture. The next day, Amelia made a promise to herself. She would never take her balance for granted again. She set out to retrain her body, not with complicated routines, but with small, mindful actions. Every morning after brushing her teeth, she stood on one foot for 10 seconds, then switched sides. At first, it was harder than she expected. Her ankles wobbled, her legs trembled, but she laughed it off, determined to improve. Weeks passed, and Amelia's stability grew stronger. Not only could she balance for 10 seconds without wavering, but she started incorporating more dynamic movements, like standing heel-to-toe walks and side leg lifts. Her confidence blossomed alongside her balance. The change wasn't just physical, it was emotional too. Amelia moved through life with renewed grace, not tiptoeing cautiously, but stepping boldly once again. Friends noticed the spark in her eyes, the lightness in her stride. She returned to the hiking trails she once loved, navigating rocky paths with the sure-footedness of a woman half her age. Balance, Amelia realized, wasn't just about avoiding falls. It was about living fearlessly. It was about trusting your body, reclaiming your freedom, and refusing to let fear dictate your movements. So the next time you stand on one foot or reach for something overhead, remember, true balance isn't automatic. It's a gift you can keep strengthening, one mindful moment at a time. Sometimes a challenge reveals a door you never knew was waiting for you to open. For Caleb, a spirited 72-year-old living in the charming coastal town of Harborview, Maine, that opportunity came from an unexpected place, the living room floor. Caleb had always been the kind of man who loved simple pleasures, fishing trips, building model ships, and storytelling by the fire. But as his granddaughter Zoe, barely 5 years old, invited him to sit on the floor for a board game, Caleb hesitated. It wasn't the game that worried him. It was the unspoken fear. Can I even get back up without help? Swallowing his pride, Caleb lowered himself carefully. Sure enough, when the game ended, standing up felt like an uphill battle. His hands scrambled for support. His knees shook under the strain. It was a moment of quiet realization. He had lost something he didn't even notice slipping away, his mobility. But where some might have seen defeat, Caleb saw a new mission. That evening, as the fireplace crackled beside him, he vowed to reclaim his strength, not for vanity, but for freedom. He began a gentle daily practice, simple squats using the arm of the couch for balance, kneeling exercises, stretches that woke up stiff muscles forgotten by time. The first days were humbling. Caleb could feel how much his body resisted. But slowly, something beautiful began to happen. He noticed getting out of his recliner was easier. He caught himself kneeling down to pick up a dropped sock without second thoughts. When spring arrived, he surprised everyone, including himself, by kneeling easily beside Zoe to plant flowers in the garden. Mobility wasn't just about the floor, it was about life itself. It was the ability to catch yourself from a fall, to tie your own shoes, to kneel and hug your grandchildren without needing to think twice. For Caleb, every regained movement became a celebration, a silent victory whispering, "You're not done yet." If you can still get down to the floor and rise again without needing assistance, you hold a precious gift: resilience, independence, and vitality. If you struggle now, don't lose heart. As Caleb proved, mobility is not a doorway closed forever. It's one you can reopen with patience and practice, because life is fuller when you can live it at every level, standing tall, kneeling low, and everything in between. Growth doesn't always happen with grand, sweeping changes. Sometimes it starts with the decision to carry a grocery bag without needing to set it down halfway. For Henry, a 69-year-old craftsman from Maple Ridge, Vermont, personal growth arrived in the form of a simple brown paper bag. Henry had spent most of his life working with his hands, building furniture, restoring old barns, shaping raw wood into art. But as the years added up, he found himself hesitating before lifting heavy things. One Saturday morning at the local farmer's market, Henry realized just how much things had changed. He reached for a bag full of fresh apples and homemade jam. It wasn't particularly heavy, but to his surprise, his grip faltered. His forearms ached. His fingers felt weak. Embarrassed, Henry had to ask for help, a small moment that hit him harder than he cared to admit. Driving home, the silence in his truck was heavy. Henry realized that strength wasn't something you once earned and always kept. It needed to be maintained, like the very barns he repaired. Rather than sink into frustration, Henry saw an opportunity to rebuild. He started small, carrying his groceries himself, even if it meant 2 trips. He added simple grip exercises, squeezing a tennis ball during his morning coffee, doing light dumbbell lifts while watching the evening news. The results didn't happen overnight. There were days when Henry wanted to give up, when the ache in his hands felt louder than his determination. But he pressed on. Over time, his grip returned, stronger and steadier than before. His arms felt more stable. Even more rewarding, he noticed a shift in how he moved through his day, with confidence instead of caution. A few months later, Henry returned to the farmer's market. This time he grabbed 2 bags, one in each hand, without hesitation. He even helped an elderly neighbor load her baskets into her car, grinning from ear to ear. Growth isn't just about restoring lost abilities. It's about reclaiming pride, independence, and joy. It's about realizing that your body, no matter your age, can respond to effort with resilience. Henry's story reminds us, strength is not reserved for the young. It's earned and re-earned through patience, grit, and small daily victories. If you can carry life's weight, even symbolized by a simple bag of apples, you are stronger than you realize. And if you're not there yet, you can be. The path to strength is still wide open. Every now and then, life gifts us a mirror, not to show what we have lost, but to reveal the strength we still carry inside. For Evelyn, a vibrant 71-year-old artist living in the sun-drenched town of Willow Bend, Arizona, that mirror came in the form of a staircase. Evelyn had always been full of spirit, her days painted with splashes of color and adventure. She loved climbing up to her studio on the 2nd floor of her cozy home, arms full of canvases and ideas. But one afternoon, as she climbed the familiar staircase, she felt her breath shorten. Halfway up, she paused, placing a hand on the railing, heart pounding harder than it should. It wasn't just a moment of physical strain, it was a crossroads. Sitting on the steps, Evelyn faced a choice. Let this moment be a sign to slow down, accept decline, or use it as a fire starter to reignite her strength. Deep inside, she knew her story wasn't over yet. That evening, Evelyn made a simple commitment. She would not avoid the stairs. She would conquer them. Each day, she climbed a little more, sometimes slow, sometimes breathless, but always determined. She started adding leg-strengthening exercises, took short walks around the neighborhood, and celebrated every little improvement. Weeks turned into months. The stairs that once intimidated her became her training ground, her badge of honor. Climbing them wasn't just about reaching her studio. It became a metaphor for every dream she still had inside her. Evelyn's journey teaches us something profound. The greatest victories are often invisible to others, but monumental within ourselves. A strong heart, resilient lungs, and determined legs are not simply physical traits. They are reflections of spirit, of will, of life. If you can still climb a flight of stairs without stopping, know this: you are carrying the weight of your dreams, your independence, and your vitality on every step you take. If you struggle, don't fear. Struggle is not weakness, it's the seed of your next triumph. Your life isn't measured only by the years you've lived, but by how bravely you move through each day. Upward, forward, one step at a time. So next time you see a staircase, don't see it as an obstacle. See it as your arena. Your place to prove to yourself and the world that your journey is far from finished. Because every step you climb is a testament. You are alive, you are strong, and your best days are still ahead. Longevity isn't just a lucky lottery win. It's a reward for the small choices we make every single day. It's not found in expensive treatments or miracle cures, but in ordinary actions done with extraordinary commitment. Whether it's the strength to rise from a chair without help, the endurance to walk briskly, or the clarity to recall yesterday's conversations, these simple signs are powerful indicators of a thriving, resilient body and mind. Each step, each stretch, each deep breath you take in pursuit of staying active and engaged becomes an investment in the future version of yourself. Aging is inevitable, but decline is not mandatory. The real secret to living to 100 isn't locked away in genetics. It's hidden in your daily routines, your mindset, and your willingness to keep moving, keep learning, and keep loving life. Your story isn't written yet, and the best chapters may still be ahead. Start today by choosing one small action that supports your strength and independence. Practice standing up from a chair without using your hands. Take a brisk 10-minute walk around your neighborhood. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth to improve balance. Set a goal to climb a flight of stairs daily. Challenge your mind with a new book or a puzzle. Focus on consistency, not perfection. Small daily efforts will build strength, resilience, and vitality over time. Remember, every positive action sends a powerful message to your body. I'm not giving up, I'm getting stronger. You have the power to shape how you age, starting right now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and share with your friends. Your support keeps these stories alive. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if today's story touched your heart, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, stay well, and see you in the next story.